Howdy folks, today's recipe is cumin venison. It's a mashup between a couple of recipes from YouTube, one being from Chinese Cooking Demystified and the other one being from the old Beijing banquet master chefs. I kind of combined the two and adapted them for venison. So we're starting off by grating some ginger, about an inch, over a tablespoon of Szechuan peppercorns. And then we're going to pour in boiling water, and we're just going to let that sit there until it's cool to the touch. It's at room temperature. It's going to help remove some of the gaminess from the venison. We also need some onion, so we're going to chop up an onion. Just a fairly rough dice. We don't have to be too precise. Also, folks, put something underneath your cutting board to stabilize it. Don't let it twist and turn like this. This is really bad. We also want some cilantro. We want the stems and the leaves. So we're going to chop the stems finely, and that'll go in the stir fry. And the leaves will make a base for the finished product. So we have our venison. It's cut up into fairly small cubes. I had this in my freezer already cut up. You can see we're pouring over the ginger water, and we're just going to give it a stir and let it just sit and soak for a little while. And as I said earlier, that's going to help pull some of the gaminess out of the venison. So after draining it, you're going to look something like this, and then we're going to start to add our marinade. So we're going to add some white pepper and a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to add soy sauce, again about a teaspoon. And then we're going to mix it pretty well. To that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. We're going to add 1 tablespoon, give it a good stir, and then add another one. And that's just to make sure we add the right amount. Finally, we're going to add a fair amount of vegetable oil and again stir it. And what that's going to do is when we deep fry it later, it's going to stop the pieces from sticking together when they go into the deep fryer. Now we need to toast up some cumin. This is a few tablespoons worth. It doesn't matter if you do a little bit too much. And this is the whole seeds. It's not crushed or ground up at all. So we're just toasting that off, and then we will tip it onto a plate for later. And then we're going to do the same with some chili powder. Now this chili powder is really, really hot, so I'm not going to use a ton of it. Next, we're going to bring our oil up to about 350 degrees, and we're going to put our venison in there. You can probably do the whole amount, depending on the size of your wok and the strength of your burner. We're not after like a crazy, hard, fast fry here. And then we just deep fry it for a couple of minutes. You don't have to stir it too much. Just want to make sure that they aren't all stuck together and clumped. After deep frying for a while, you should have a nice brown color on it. Don't want it to be too dark. Then we're going to decant it out into a strainer over a bowl. Then we'll clean out our wok, and we're going to stir fry our onion in just a little bit of oil. And we're just going to stir fry it until there's a little bit of color. We don't want it too dark. Once we have some color in our onion, we'll add our venison back in. All we're really doing is just making sure we have all the flavors and everything incorporated and hot. So we give that a quick stir fry. We're going to add in probably about a tablespoon of soy sauce and give that a quick stir. Now we'll add in our cumin, and we want to do it in a few batches. Basically what we want is for every piece of venison to have a good coating of cumin seeds. So we add some, give it a stir, and then if we feel like we need to, we add some more. Then we'll add our chili. As I mentioned, this stuff's really hot, so I'm not going to add too much. I want cumin to be the predominant flavor. And again, we just give it a good stir. Finally, we're going to add our cilantro stems and give it another stir. You can have your heat turned off at this point. We don't really need to cook the cilantro, just warm it up. Then put your cilantro leaves into a bowl and dump the venison over the top of the cilantro. The residual heat from the venison will heat the cilantro up and cause it to sort of infuse some cilantro flavors up through the venison. Also, it looks nice. And that's it. This is our cumin venison. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.